Hi, welcome back to another video. This one is going to be a more chatty video, so grab your coffee, your tea, your water, and let's chat a little bit about small businesses and creativity and all of that. I've been doing my business full-time for the past 5 years, almost 6 years. It's going to be 6 years next year, which is kind of crazy, and along the way I've been learning a few things that are important to me, things I want to put more time into, things that are more important or less important in my small business life, to have a little bit more of a work-life balance, and to be better and better at it. So I thought I could compile a little list of some of those things that I feel are very important and they make my day-to-day life so much easier as a small business. So I'm going to be chatting about 5 skills that I think are very, very important when it comes to small business life, and especially being your own boss, because that's not easy at all. Some of these things have been very, very important for me to be more productive, to be more organized, but especially to avoid a little bit more of art block, which I used to have a lot before, and also burnout. Let's get into it. One of the main skills that I feel it's the most important, especially when it comes to art block and illustration specifically, it's not taking for granted what you do, and being able to recognize that sometimes you need to evolve, you need to learn, you need to find other ways of doing the same thing. It happened so many times where I needed to change my style a little bit to feel a little bit more excited of what I was doing, or change the mediums that I was using. When I was using traditional, I started with only watercolors, but I would end up trying to use like acrylic pens or something like that to just spice up a little bit of my creativity. And when it comes to digital art, I try to do the same, even changing like a small thing like how I do textures, or learning a little bit more about the softwares that I use, like Procreate, try to understand it a little bit better, or even taking an illustration class or something like that. A few years ago, I took one from Evelyn Stockhart. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name right. And I remember at the time I was feeling very, very stuck with my art, and I was doing things like I've been doing the same thing over and over again, especially because I create monthly collections for Patreon. Sometimes I get to a point that I feel like I'm creating like a robot. I'm just putting up an idea for a collection and just do the illustrations, do this certain steps to create the illustrations, and then put it out to the world. So sometimes I need a little step back to bring me to my creative side and why I enjoy doing the things that I do. And that class specifically changed my life so much. I started to enjoy digital illustration a lot more again. So sometimes taking a step back and try to evolve your skills and all of that, especially regarding creativity and art and illustration, is so important. And I think this is one of the most important things. I'm going to talk a little bit more about others that are important as well, but this for me, it's the base of like enjoying it so much, no matter how many years I've been doing it. Learning and also do some research about the things that you love, it's so helpful. Money and financial skills, I feel like the more I do my small business and the more I am my own boss, the more I feel like it's so important to talk about and learn about. I postponed it for so long to learn a little bit more. I would just do the basic stuff that I need to do, and that was going to be it. But since I tried to learn a little bit more how I price my products, how to do wholesale, and how to organize my finances, I feel like so organized on my business like I haven't been before. I think I already mentioned this on a couple of videos. I think it was last year that I downloaded like a track for expenses, for my earnings, and I would just write everything down, and just looking at stats and looking at like the little colors with all the expenses that I have and try to organize myself monthly with that, it became so much easier to also realize where I'm putting my money on my business, if it is worth it, if it's not, if a product is selling or not, if the money that I'm putting into making a certain type of product, but if it takes months to sell, if it's worth it or not. Like trying to have this organization when it comes to money and finances, I feel like it's also helpful. I start to talk to an accountant every time I have questions, because I feel like it's such an important part of my full-time job, even though I don't want it to be, because I don't like it. I don't know if anyone likes it, maybe some people do, but I don't like the numbers part. I just want to do art and illustration and products. But since I realized how much this matters, it's basically a way of growing your business. And it sounds so simple to just be organized financially, but I wasn't. And I know a lot of people are not as well, because we just want to create. But I feel like it's such an important skill to learn and to be more mindful of if you want to grow your small business and if you want to not put money on the wrong things. Okay, I know I said that the first one was the most important one. Might change that. Well, they're all important, but I feel like this is the reason why I'm still here, why I still have this small business, why I still illustrate to this day after so many years. And it's a skill that involves so many things, but it's learning how I can be more confident with my work, how I can more resilient, and basically it made me not give up so far. So I used to be very not confident about my artistic abilities. I never thought about pursuing art. I was going to sciences. I was going to probably become a vet or something like that. But then I ended up choosing going to art because one of my teachers pushed me to do it. But when it came to choosing a course for university, I was feeling very stuck creatively, and still I wasn't 100% confident on my art, because there were so many people around me that were so good that I was like, what the hell am I doing? There's people that have so much talent and they create so many amazing things. Like, I don't have a space here. So I ended up going to design and then conservation restoration. And the more I grew older, the more I was trying to grow apart from my creativity and all of that, because I felt like I wasn't enough. And destiny just made me do this as a job. Eventually, I started to pursue illustration. I started to create again. I started to draw again. But these thoughts were always in the back of my head. Like, there's so many amazing people out there. Why am I doing this? Like, I don't have what it takes. I can't even draw a star. And the more I look back, this was always the example, like, don't know how to draw stars. And that's why little side note, that's why I draw so many stars on my illustrations, because now I can, because I tried so much that I ended up devolving that quality. But the thing is, this is something that I've been learning a lot over the years, and it's something that it's not easy, but it's such an important skill, and it is to trust your work and develop little by little this confidence that you have in your art and your creations. This can come from so many things, like going to therapy, which is something that I've been doing for the last 2 years, I think, maybe. Trying to avoid burnout, as I said, and trying to be more mindful of the things that are going to push me over the edge, or things that are going to make me feel a certain way. Learning that I have to rest and I have to accept being restful and all of that. And this is something that it's more mental than any other thing, but trying to develop this skill that I have to understand how I'm feeling, and that can affect the way my creativity works. it's so important to this day, and it's something that I'm still developing, but I feel like it's one of the most important things. And it's something that basically, if I take care of it, if I keep like watering this plant, this skill of my confidence in my art, it's something that it's going to make me want to do it in the long run, and it's going to make me to not want to give up, because I'm going to find ways to work with that. I'm doing this little by little, but there's also so many resources that you can take, like classes on Skillshare. Skillshare is a creative platform where you can find classes on a lot of subjects like illustration, freelance work, creativity, productivity, and a lot more. There's classes basically for everyone. If you are a hobbyist, if you are a professional, you can learn at your own pace. Most of the classes are very succinct, but with full of information, and they are divided by lessons, which makes it so easy. If you only have like 10 minutes, you can take a lesson like every day and just explore your creativity and certain subjects that way. I'm taking this class from Emma Gannon called Unlocking Your Potential: 5 Exercises to Build Your Creative Confidence. It talks a lot about self-sabotage, which is something that I've been working on therapy for the last few years. And that she mentions on the class is to identify your patterns, which is something that I really try to do right now. Try to put into place certain systems that might work for me, and knowing when I'm starting to feel that way, it's so helpful to not being sucked by all of these negative thoughts. I feel like it's also important to do these kinds of classes that talk a little bit more about the creative side. If you want to check Skillshare, I'm going to leave a link in the description. The first 500 people to click the link or scan the QR code that it's going to appear on screen will get 1 month free trial on Skillshare, which is so nice. If you want to try Skillshare, the link is in the description. And thank you so much for Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Another skill that I feel like it's so important, and I mentioned this a couple of times, it's to more related to your small business itself and having a shop, is to focus on your branding as soon as you can. This can be the whole vibes of your shop or your small business, the colors, the name, everything else. I talked about my brand story a little bit on a previous video. I'm going to leave it in the description, and how that influenced the future of my brand. And it's something that I need to consider in the future. So I wish starting to invest more on this skill a little bit early on, and to put more focus on it and more importance on it a little bit earlier than I did. It's something that, again, all of these skills, I think I'm still working on them little by little. We are never done learning when it comes to all the subjects, but it's something that I'm trying to implement more on my newsletters, on my Instagram pages, on my YouTube channel, on my thumbnails. Like, I'm trying to incorporate my branding so much more on everything I do related to my business and my brand. It becomes so much easier for people to recognize it and to be a little bit more, look more put together and more professional as well. Some things that I still want to improve when it comes to this is to talk maybe more about my characters, do a little bit more storytelling, because I create so much, but I never put the time into make the connections a little bit more in deep when it comes to my characters and all the things that I create and all the worlds that I put them into. So I would love to explore that in the future, and also be a little bit more consistent as well. I think this just goes into it too. It's not about making everything pretty. You have to keep making things and being consistent and showing up, so that people can see that you are a brand that they can trust. Basically, it's already getting dark. This is the worst part of this time of the year, but I want to talk about our last one, and the last skill that I wanted to talk about, which is, again, something that I think I only started to get better in the last 2-3 years. It's organization, and trying to be more mindful of how I do things to make my life easier. This comes to organizing the shop updates the same time every time, and organizing by like my day-to-day by tasks. So it makes my life easier to create batches of content for social media, so I don't have to keep doing it. And on all of this, one of the systems that I started to use is I have a physical planner, which is something that I always use. I love writing on paper. I have to write everything on paper, but I started to use Notion as well a lot, and that has been super, super helpful to search online for like certain templates for certain things, to organize my day-to-day, my weeks, all of my lists. Like I don't have like separate lists for everything, and trying to be more organized and trying to find ways to make my life easier. It has been so helpful. Something that really helped as well was to make changes in the studio and trying to make it a little bit more functional, because I feel like this is such an important thing on your space and your environment. And every time I have my space clean, I feel a lot more organized. So it's also to realize what are the things around you, external to you, that you can control, that also makes you more organized and to be more productive as well. I think trying to find ways to grow and to learn, it's so important when it comes to small business life, entrepreneur life, and also related to being a creative and to be able to keep creating. We just need to figure out which are the ways that work for us, things we need to evolve a little bit more, what things we need to learn, what things we need to explore. And these are like my 5 things and / skills that I feel like has been so important into being able to still call this my job and being productive and having a nice day-to-day where I can have a nice work-life balance and not reach burnout because I'm overworking myself. So I hope this video was helpful. I always enjoy filming like this more chatty videos, talking a little bit more about my experiences. If any of these resonated with you, let me know. I would love to know your ideas and what do you do to also make your small business a little bit better every day, so we can keep doing this for years and years. So yeah, let me know in the comment and put a like on this video. Do all of these things, subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to support my channel, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description as well, and or join my Patreon on membership. Yeah, if you want to try Skillshare, the link is in the description as well, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.